just released, planning to launch next-generation Starlink satellites in March. When you think about Elon Musk, the first thing most people tend to associate him with is his automobile company Tesla. The Tesla company's come so far, and you can now find these cars anywhere and everywhere. However, you should know that he's into a lot more things. If you follow space and satellite news, then you would have probably heard that SpaceX is planning to launch the next generation of Starlink satellites in March. Starlink satellites provide internet communication services that are now rivaled by very few companies. Since they were founded in 2002, they've attained enormous success on space discovery levels. One of them is building one of the greatest satellite models in the world. The Starlink satellites are now placed all over the world, connecting people to the internet at record-breaking speeds already. But Musk isn't done with his internet satellites yet. In January 2022, Musk was proud to announce that a new generation of Starlink satellites are going to be released in March this year. But what does this internet satellite have that its predecessor doesn't? And what should you expect from this next-gen satellite as a new or existing customer? Welcome to your favorite space channel, Unlimited SpaceX. If you're new here, don't forget to like and subscribe. Also, don't hesitate to click on the notification bell to get all sorts of news on SpaceX, Elon Musk, and all the controversy surrounding him. All about the satellite. Musk is on a mission to terraform and colonize Mars. However, it takes a lot of money to do that. Admittedly, Musk set up this business to make money. However, it's not to enrich himself, but to finance the plan to leave the Earth by 2030. He believed that it's either we spread Earth to other planets, or we as the human race go extinct in a little while. He also says that while Mars is not a perfect replica of Earth, it's the best option for now. Although it's still in its beta phase, it has attracted over 100,000 users who have attested to its amazing speed, which comes at an affordable price of $99 a month. The company started in 2015, and they had launched about 1,000 satellites into orbit just 2 years later. The internet service is very inclusive, being able to reach people in rural areas and other parts of the world who have little to no access to the internet. Its operations differ greatly from the traditional satellites and internet provider systems, which is why it has become a favorite for many people. If you want to get connected to the Starlink satellite, all you need to do is set up the small receiver near you. It could be in your house, in the forest, or even the desert. The internet speed will continue to improve as more satellites get launched. The Starlink satellite wasn't always this good. It originally started as an experiment, hopping aboard a Falcon 9 rocket all the way back in 2018. Although it could only deliver speeds of a few megabits per second, Elon used this as a way to test for the possibility of inventing groundbreaking internet connectivity. The version 0.1 was originally called the Tintin model, and it sat at an orbit height of about 500 kilometers. This satellite provided a blueprint for building the first Starlink satellite. Other prototypes, which are the versions 0.5 and 0.9, were also created to get more findings and information on how to build an amazing internet connection service. With the prototype succeeding, Musk got enough motivation and confidence to get to work on building the very first one that so many people use now. Since that time, SpaceX has launched every 2 weeks, and you can watch the launches live on YouTube. It may interest you to know that it cost about $50 million to launch a rocket into space, which is a huge amount of money. Since there are about 60 satellites that can be transported using one spacecraft, and a Falcon 9 can carry about 100 to 150 tons of load, it's estimated that the cost of launching one satellite would be approximately $850,000. The number of satellites that can be launched into space will be increased very soon. To confirm this, the SpaceX president said in an announcement that once SpaceX starts to fly a lot of starships regularly and without much difficulty, the rocket will be able to launch nearly 7 times as many Starlink satellites as well. Now, the Satellite 2.0 is designed to outperform its predecessor. Setting up this new satellite would mean that you can use the satellite from far distances due to its wide coverage and broadband. Musk himself posted a tweet which said that the new satellite's internet service would be twice as fast as its predecessor. The new satellite would also be able to work perfectly on Mars, which means that the first batch of colonizers would be able to use the internet just like they could on Earth. It doesn't include any data plans or throttle speeds like its predecessors. It intends to fully run on the subscription plan alone. The satellites are designed to be very efficient, seeing as each stack is flat and designed to carry a lot of satellites. They also come with little thrusts that allow the satellites to be pushed and their positions to be adjusted at all times. The dish of the new satellite was expensive to produce, and the company had to subsidize the price for its customers so as to maintain its flat price of $500. Now, the new dish is way less expensive to produce and is smaller in size. It also contains a 3x3 MU-MIMO router, which allows it to transmit data through 3 bandwidth streams up to 3 devices without having the network being slowed down. These satellites also have ground hubs on Earth-based stations that allow the communication of these satellites with other satellites around the world. It would be able to do this due to the insertion of 5G antennas on each satellite. Interestingly, this isn't the first time the satellite has gone through an update. Before this newer satellite was released, the first satellite had undergone some major upgrades as they were being launched. Although the new satellite is smaller than the original, don't be fooled. Musk has said that this new generation of satellite is stronger, faster, and a lot more powerful than the original in response to an increased demand. He plans for about 29,988 Starlink second-generation satellites to be in orbit, which should be deployed at 9 altitudes, ranging from 350 to 600 kilometers. With all the satellites that they've launched and all the benefits they offer, it's safe to say that Starlink has since surpassed all of their competitors. They have over 1,700 successful satellites that are in orbit right now, and about 30 missions being successful. With all these successful launches, Musk is planning to build a mega network that'll be accessed by billions around the world. There have been some concerns raised by some sets of people. Some people think that building this company would lead to their main goal of transporting people to Mars being sidelined. Thus, critics argue that this will distract them from the main goal of SpaceX and are not in support of future launches of the new satellites. However, Musk has specifically said that rather than slowing the plan to bring people to Mars in the next decade, he believes that this company would hasten the process even further. The critics seem to be in the minority because a lot of people think that this would be a major success due to the success with all the previous projects he's worked on, such as Tesla. SpaceX has done such a lot in such a short time. They've changed the world as we know it and are continuing to do so. The satellites, the spacecraft, and other things they're working on are just a way of preparing for the colonization of Mars in the near future. With all these innovations, it's safe to say that SpaceX is going to be a major influence in the direction that humanity takes over the next century. If more people begin to use their internet, the world would experience a far greater level of productivity and enhanced security. It would also allow for increased communication and collaboration between multiple companies. So what do you think about Starlink satellites? Do you think it'll change the way we live? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and hopefully we'll see you soon in our next video.